son Henry was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th. We was talking right, but he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, what you talking about? Like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right?
The controversy surrounding Tank Davis's majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. is only escalating, quickly becoming one of the biggest scandals in boxing this year. What should have been a clear-cut fight result has spiraled into a heated debate over corruption, favoritism, and whether Davis was protected by forces beyond the ring.
Whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, "Oh, that he should be disqualified. He went back to the corner." I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation.
Fans are still reeling from the chaos of the 9th round, where referee Steve Willis made a baffling decision. Instead of calling it a knockdown, he hesitated, starting a count before abruptly stopping himself, leaving everyone confused about what they had just witnessed. That single moment shifted the momentum of the entire fight, and now whispers are growing louder that Willis may have been pressured, or worse, bribed to protect Davis from losing his belt.
Oh, if you take the knee, man, if you take the knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking the point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking the point off. I don't know what happened with the referee.
The fight itself was already a shocker. Roach, a massive underdog, stepped into the ring with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Facing the power and aggression of Gervonta Davis, few expected him to last 12 rounds, let alone push the champ to his limits. But that's exactly what he did. From the opening bell, Roach made it clear he wasn't just another name on Tank's highlight reel. He was calculated, disciplined, and fearless, slipping Davis's big punches and countering with sharp, accurate shots. As the rounds progressed, it became evident this wouldn't be an easy night for Davis. For the first time in a long time, the Baltimore fighter looked frustrated. His usual rhythm was off, and Roach wasn't giving him the openings he wanted. Then came the 9th round, the moment that changed everything.
I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost that unanimously.
Roach landed a clean shot that staggered Davis, forcing him to drop to a knee. The crowd erupted, expecting the referee to issue a knockdown count. But Steve Willis, a referee known for his animated reactions, did something completely out of character. He hesitated. For a brief moment, Willis looked as if he was about to start the count, but then he stopped. Instead of ruling it a knockdown, he waved it off as if nothing had happened. The commentators were stunned. Fans inside the arena erupted in confusion. Social media instantly exploded with outrage, demanding answers. How is this not a knockdown? The replay showed it clearly. Davis took a knee after absorbing a clean shot. Yet, somehow, Willis dismissed it. When the scorecards were revealed, the significance of that moment became undeniable. Instead of suffering what many believe should have been a loss, Davis escaped with a majority draw, leaving fans and analysts questioning the integrity of the decision.
Being in big names, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah, and I feel like people just don't like the Tank to a point where any little things, because he ain't knocking him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw,
Now, even more shocking details are emerging. Allegations have surfaced claiming that Steve Willis was offered a $2 million bribe to protect Davis. At first, it seemed like nothing more than conspiracy talk from frustrated fans. But then, boxing insiders started echoing the same suspicions. Some reports suggest that individuals close to Davis's camp had contact with Willis before the fight, raising serious questions about the integrity of the officiating. This could explain why Davis was so confident when he told Lamont Roach that no matter what he did, he wasn't going to get the win. Others point to Willis's hesitation in the 9th round, arguing that it wasn't just a mistake. It looked like he was second-guessing himself, fully aware that he couldn't afford to make the wrong call. If these allegations hold any weight, this could go down as one of the most blatant cases of corruption boxing has seen in years.
Honestly, I thought I should have won without that being counted a knockdown. Look, I ain't the ref. I ain't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he had to wipe sweat out his eye, he had to wipe sweat out his eye. We stay. If he voluntarily take a knee, then that's an automatic. But it is what it is. I wasn't relying on it. I was relying on what I.
Things took an even more suspicious turn when the World Boxing Association rushed to defend Steve Willis's decision. In a move that only added fuel to the fire, the WBA published an article on its official website insisting that Willis's call was justified. From our perspective, Willis's decision was not unreasonable or unjustifiable. No knockdown should have been recorded, the statement read. That single line sent fans into an uproar. It felt like the WBA was desperately trying to shut down the controversy before it spiraled out of control. But the backlash was immediate. Fans weren't buying it. Boxing analysts slammed the statement as absurd, and former fighters openly criticized the WBA for what looked like a blatant attempt to protect Davis. Within hours, the article was being ripped apart across social media, and the pressure on the WBA only intensified.
It was a close fight. I'm not surprised the way Lamont fought. I knew Lamont was going to come to fight. It was the opportunity of a lifetime. He did a good job. He fought a great fight. What went wrong with Tank Davis? I mean, I was expecting him to knock him out. Every night in boxing is not your best, you feel me? But
the backlash became so intense that WBA President Gilberto Mendoza was forced to take down the article and issue a public apology. However, even his apology only raised more questions. Mendoza posted a direct message to Lamont Roach Jr. on X, saying, "Champ, as president of the WBA, I must apologize for the opinion of a collaborator on the website. We believed in you since day one. We knew you would have a marvelous performance and feel proud of you as champion." That wording immediately sparked skepticism. If this was merely the opinion of a random contributor, why was it published on the WBA's official website? And why was the organization so quick to defend Willis in the first place? Mendoza also reached out to Roach's father, who is both his manager and trainer, with a similar message, but by then, the damage had already been done. To many, this looked like a failed cover-up. The WBA appeared to have been caught trying to shield Davis, and when the backlash became overwhelming, they scrambled to backtrack. At this point, all eyes were on Gervonta "Tank" Davis himself. With bribery accusations swirling, people were eager to hear his response. When Davis finally spoke out, he neither denied nor admitted to anything. Instead, he fired back at critics, saying, "I don't know anything about that, but look, they've been hating on me since day one. Y'all acting like I ain't never had to fight for my respect. They just mad 'cause I ain't lose my belt." Davis also insisted that he had no problem facing Roach again, stating, "If they want a rematch, we can run it back. I ain't ducking nobody." But if that were true, why hasn't a rematch already been announced? Many believe Davis's camp is stalling because they know Roach is a serious threat. Meanwhile, the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, is now being dragged into the controversy. The commission was supposed to utilize instant replay on fight night, yet for some reason it never happened. Their official explanation? Technical issues. That excuse has only fueled more suspicion. What kind of technical issue conveniently occurs at the exact moment when instant replay could have potentially changed the outcome of a major title fight? Many fans aren't buying it. Calls for a full investigation are growing louder, and rumors are circulating that Roach's team is considering legal action to challenge the fight's result. If that happens, this situation could escalate even further, turning what was already a controversial bout into one of the biggest scandals boxing has seen in years.
How do you assess his power after being in there for 12?
He got decent power. He got decent power for sure. I ain't gonna say it's exaggerated. I told you I got a chin. I ain't going like that.
With controversy continuing to swirl, the pressure for a rematch is mounting by the day. Even WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has acknowledged that the organization is now considering pushing for a second fight, stating, "Asterisk, I have asked the WBA committee to follow up on Lamont Roach Jr.'s direct rematch case closely. However, we believe the parties, as expressed in the post-fight interview, will amicably agree to run it back. Asterisk, but not everyone is convinced. The WBA has already shown where its loyalties lie, and many believe they will do whatever it takes to ensure Davis doesn't lose. Even if a rematch is scheduled, what's stopping the same questionable politics from interfering again? Fans are demanding transparency, but in a sport with a long history of controversial decisions, skepticism remains high.